So this episode starts off when after Naruto and Kiba just went at it, and Kiba was thinking, oh, we're gonna be Hokage once he beats Naruto and all that stuff, and we all know what Naruto did to Kiba. I'm gonna make a video about that very soon. So Hinata, of course, teammate of Kiba, but also a secret lover of Naruto at this point, basically goes to Kiba, giving him the healing ointment for him and Akamaru. And it's a nice moment. He's like, oh, Kiba, it's okay. Maybe next time. Cool. Kiba looks dead, Hinata dead in the eye and says, gang, you shouldn't be worried about me. You should be worried about yourself right now. Literally, let me break it down. It's you, Lee, Neji, Gaara, and the other guy from the Sound Village. And then Choji as well. Forgot about Choji. Love Choji. And Kiba basically, look, if you fight, Lee might take it easy on you. If you fight Choji, you could probably beat Choji at this point in time. Maybe it's a closer fight. Now, Neji and Gaara and that sound guy, if you match up with any of those guys, get out the match. Just call it. Don't even think about it. Don't even waste your time. Just get out of this match. Forfeit. And Hinata is thinking about it, but she's like, I don't really want to do this, y'all. I don't want to do that. And now the proctor of the match, I forgot my boy's name, but he's cold. He's a cold fighter. He comes out and he's like, all right, it's time to announce the next match. And Hinata does a slow look up. Neji does a slow look up. Gaara Lee is doing the slow look up. Everybody's looking at that board. And then it says Hinata Hyuga versus Neji Hyuga. And boy, I tell you, Hinata's face is shook. It's been a while since I watched this show. Girl, she was shook. She did not want to fight Neji. This was like the worst matchup possible. At least with Gaara, you could be like, hey, everybody would tell you, hey, you should probably forfeit this match. Even the Hokage would tell you, Hinata, you're cool, but you should probably forfeit this match. Even Naruto would probably tell you to forfeit this match, Hinata. But Neji, it's going to be interesting. So they get down to the arena, and pretty much Neji's talking to her, and he's basically like, look, Hinata, I know you got the main branch blood. I swear, this game, you might as well, with Neji, bro, you might as well start a drinking game and say, how many times does he say main branch in these 2 episodes, bro? Because like, bro, he's always complaining about the main branch do the main branch do that. I don't care, Neji. Just fight already. But anyway, so they get to the center of the ring, and Neji's basically like, bro, you main branch and all, but like, you're not really like that. You're not made for this. You're not built for this at all. And he is, how the women say, running her down, eating her up. Is that, whoa, eating her up? Anyway, he's saying all this stuff to Hinata. I'll be like, bro, you should forfeit. This is not for you. You're not built to be a ninja, all that jazz. And Hinata is like, no, you're wrong. I'm here for this. I want to be here. You telling me Shino and Kiba wanted to sign up and I didn't want to sign up. No, all 3 of us want to be here. Hinata's standing 10 toes. She a little shook in her tone, but like, she's standing 10 toes, right? And during all of this is the very first time we actually get to meet Neji and see who he is and what type of character he is. And I forgot, he used to be so bitter, bro. Bro, every time he would bring up the main branch family and how he's so bitter towards them. We learned later why he's so bitter towards them, and honestly, it did make sense. But at the time, bro, he was just so bitter. But at the same time, he was so cold of a character. The way that man threw hands against Hinata in this fight was immaculate. It was greatness. And that's not even 25% of what we see from Neji later on when he fights Naruto. But we'll get to that. It's funny, at some point even before the fight, we get a little bit of Hinata's backstory from the Kurenai's perspective. And Lord Hayashi was just mean to Hinata. Bro, this man called her useless. He's like Hanabi at 5 years old or 5 years younger than her. It's way better than her. Hinata is just a useless, gentle, soft, kind child. And I'm like, damn, why is Lord Hayashi so bitter too? And I know the main branch and the side branch at this point in time had a lot of bad blood. And again, we find out why when Naruto fights Neji, which another video coming soon. I genuinely feel bad for Hinata. She just grew up in a household where she was kind, but she had to be ruthless. And she just didn't want to be that. I wouldn't say she wanted to be a ninja, but she was put in that situation of everybody wants me to be this, and I don't want to be this at all. I want to do it my way, but my family doesn't see it that way. Her father doesn't see it that way. And I'm supposed to be the heir to my branch, my clan, and I'm supposed to be this ruthless, 10 toes down, strict to the bone type of person, but I'm just not that person. So a little conflict with Hinata. I think when Naruto fights Neji and he addresses all that, it comes full circle. And then at some point during their talk, Neji uses the iconic line, always a failure, you ain't shit, you're never gonna change, all that stuff. And this line pisses Naruto rightfully the hell off. And he's like, Hinata Hyuga, lock in. You're gonna let him talk to you like that about you? I don't care about this main branch stuff. I don't care about this side branch stuff. Lock the F in. And Hinata's tone just changed. Her body language changed. She said, you know what? I'm not running away no more. I'm not gonna hide myself no more. I'm gonna lock in because I'm not. You damn sure ain't gonna beat me in front of the person I love. You don't know I love him. I'm gonna lock in and hit you with the Byakugan, and we gonna fight. We gonna have to do this, right? Now, was that not the smartest choice? No. But at the same time, that is growth of Hinata. Hinata is somebody that usually likes to run away at this point. She was hiding herself. She was like, I can't fight. I don't want to do this. It's a lot. But Hinata is a very powerful character. She just doesn't have that confidence. And Naruto instilled that confidence to her when he told her to lock in that moment. Now, she was clearly outmatched. Neji's probably the most talented Genin in the Elite Village at this point in time. Maybe Sasuke, but during this fight, even Kakashi was like, hey man, Sasuke tough. And he's on my team. And Sasuke is very talented. And he is very talented at this point in time. He is not Neji. Lee and I admitted it. They were like, bro, Neji's a different level of just pure talent in the Elite Village. And even when it comes to Sasuke, there's just levels to this. Also forgot during this fight that we learn a little bit about the Byakugan. We get a lot of lessons on chakra points, the Byakugan, all that jazz. And at the point in time, I remember watching this as a kid, and I'm like, damn, oh wow, the Byakugan is so cool. It's more powerful than Sharingan. How is that possible? And for the part one of Naruto, I feel like the Byakugan was so important until we get to Shippuden, where all that information about the Byakugan is useless. Byakugan, Neji's just a side character. Hinata is a side character. The Byakugan is rarely talked about until probably the last arc of Naruto with Kaguya and all that stuff. But even then, it wasn't even that important because all we cared about the Sharingan at that point. Now, watching this fight is beautifully choreographed. I promise you, it's one of the best fights in the Chunin exams, in my opinion. It's definitely a top 7 fight, top 5 in terms of emotion, story, and all that. It's quick though. It's really 2 episodes, which is crazy. But the fact that we see Hinata grow in this fight alone, and we see a little bit of what Neji can do to people. So we get a good mixture of what we are going to see later in the series. And I also think during this fight, it's the fact that Hinata, again, a character that's very shy at this point and she hides herself and she doesn't realize her own strength and the confidence within her. She has all these flashbacks about watching Naruto, admiring Naruto, being inspired by her. And the reason why she's fighting in this fight, even though she is getting boxed in this fight, is the fact that she is so inspired by Naruto. It literally made her grow up. It made her grow in this fight. Even though she did get her ass whooped, she got hit to the chest a couple of times by Neji. Wow. Which, side note, the Hyuga style, one of the cleanest fighting styles in Naruto. It's clean as hell, man. The fact that they were both fighting and the way they choreographed the moves, perfect fight. That was a really good fight. So at some point, Neji finally hits Hinata with the final blow. And Hinata goes down and she is out for the count. Now, the proctor of the fight is like, all right, man, this fight's over. Kurenai's like, bro, this fight's over. Guy, everybody's like, this fight's over, man. Until the man's about to say, hey, this match is over, Naruto steps in and says, no, look, this fight's not over. And you see Hinata getting up. The strength of God within her just gets up. And she's like, oh no, I still got a little bit more in me, even though, you're basically done here. The way she was coughing out blood, I swear I would have stopped this fight 10 minutes ago. I don't even know why they kept going. But sadly, in the Chunin exam, it's either you forfeit the fight You're unable to fight or you die. And unable to fight and die are in that same realm. And Neji, look, all the fights up to this point were pretty much, hey, I'm just trying to beat you. I'm trying to make sure you're just done fighting. Like Naruto and Kiba, make sure you're done fighting. Sakura, maybe they try to kill each other, but if we're being honest, they probably were just trying to beat each other up enough. And everybody else, pretty much, I'm just trying to beat you up enough to where you can't fight. Neji wanted to kill this girl. The way this guy had the look in his eyes, the way he was fighting her, the way he was talking his shit, he wanted to kill this woman to make a statement to the main branch and be like, look, I don't care who you send from the main branch, I'm him. I will kill everybody in there. I digress. And when Hinata was getting up, it was like, damn, Hinata, you're a fighter. You just weren't a good match from Neji. Maybe if you fought Sakura at this point, you probably would have won that fight. For real. Hey, you fought Tenzin, you might have won that fight. You just had to go up against Neji. Probably the best outside of Gaara and Sasuke, probably the best fighter. The whole Chunin exams, that stuff. So once Hinata gets up, she starts talking that heat to Neji. Neji's over here talking about, oh, you just main branch, you think you privileged, you think you that, right? And Hinata, the woman say, decided to read Neji and ate him down and said, oh, you got it twisted. You better about me being part of main branch because you weren't born in the main branch. You a side branch type of person, blah, just talking that smack. And Neji gets pissed. And like I said, this man was ready to kill her. Tries to run up on her, literally full speed, to the point where Kakashi, Guy, Kurenai, and the Proctor stepped in. Neji, Lee, Sakura, and Naruto run down, try to check on Hinata. Oh, you good? She coughing out blood. Bro, she goes into cardiac arrest. And Kurenai's over here looking at Neji. Bro, were you really actually trying to kill this girl? Damn, what the hell? Damn, Neji? Is it that serious? And Guy was like, bro, why'd you let your emotions get the best of you? You told me you weren't gonna let this happen. And Neji over here, why'd y'all even get involved? I'm trying to kill this girl. So now Naruto and Neji start getting into it. And we get the most iconic scenes of the series, of part 1 at least. And Neji tells Naruto the iconic line again, hey, if a failure you can't change, you ain't gonna change. You're just embarrassing to the shinobi world. Naruto's, I bet, tries to run up on him. Lee stops him. Lee is like, yo, Naruto, we can't fight here. We gotta wait because it's the Chunin exams. I don't want to get disqualified. I don't want him to get disqualified. But you will get your chance. And boy, Lee was right. Naruto did get his chance. But we get the iconic scene of, I bet, I can't fight you now. And then he grabs Hinata's blood, which is kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. Sanitary. Hygiene. Anyway, grabs Hinata's blood, puts the fist up with the blood dripping down and said, I vow to win. And points it right at Neji. And we still get that iconic scene later in the series when those two go to war with each other. Overall, this episode is a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it had the emotion, the growth of characters, the introduction of a new character, which is Neji technically, and overall just good lesson storytelling. I also think this is the episode that Naruto started developing a tiny bit of feelings for Hinata, just a tiny bit. But he finally see who she was, and he finally recognized, oh damn, that's her strength. She's not this shy girl. She's not this, I'ma hide and not be this confident person. No, she's actually a confident person. She can fight. She just needs to find that confidence. And honestly, from here on, Hinata does grow into that confident fighter. Anyway, that was Naruto versus Naruto. One of the best Naruto episodes I ever watched. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what's your favorite part of Naruto. Maybe I'll make a video about that. Let me know. Comment a video you would want me to make. Like the video. Subscribe if you are new. I appreciate you. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.